All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Bonsoir, bonsoir.
Hey, get up with that shit. So
Mayo Jean.
You spent 4 days in Quebec, and
I took 5.5 years of French, actually.
And this is the first time in 134 episodes that you spoke one word of it.
Well, there's no other need to. There's no need to.
How was your Memorial Day weekend up there? We'll talk more about that later. But
we can talk about that later. We've got a guest to bring on. We're really gonna dispense with the usual shenanigans at the beginning and just
we'll shenanigan up the shenanigans after
yes.
Our guest goes back to his work because he's working. He's in the middle of working. Took time out of his busy work schedule.
He's taking some time out for us, and we appreciate
to come on with
that.
us, and we do appreciate it. So let's bring him right on. Let's get it going right away. Please welcome to the show, Jake Howell from Second Sin Brewing in Bristol, PA. How are you, Jake?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And
I know Johnny came by a couple weeks ago and got to meet him. So nice to meet. What is your actual name, Mr. Samurai?
You can call me Dave. You can call me David.
Dave, okay.
You can call me Yiddy.
You can call him a lot of things. Don't worry about that.
I've been called so many things
on the show, even by guests. So it's fine.
Monsieur Samurai.
Monsieur Samurai.
Monsieur. Yeah. He spent the last 4 days in Montreal, so he's all Frenching it up a bit.
Hey, all my French got refreshed while I was there.
So, anyway,
and a little German, but more about that German.
All right, so let's just jump right into this. Before we do, though, what is everybody drinking? Jake, what are you having a libation at the moment? What do you?
So, what I'm actually was in the middle of canning is a beer we have coming out this Saturday. It's called "Teach Me How to Shandy." Okay. So every summer, this is the third year that we put this out. And last year we started doing an event on the a Saturday. It's called Shan Day.
Right.
So the day that we released the Shandy, and then this year and last year we did 4 different sixtels that were like. So I like to say this beer has no integrity because it's just made with stuff behind. Typically, I try to stay away from using like flavorings and extracts in all of our beers.
Sure.
Just not my choice, but on this beer, in each one of the we're gonna have 4 different sixtels with 4 different extracts in them, just to try some different stuff. So this year we're gonna have a peach one, which was the crowd favorite last year. We're gonna do pineapple, honeydew, and we like to do one weird one. Last year we did blue raspberry. This year we're doing cotton candy. So
it's a weird one.
Even if it turns out terrible, there's only gonna be 5 gallons of it.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna have a pin, like a cask that it's gonna be like an Arnold Palmer. So it's gonna have some tea dumped in there and then filled up with the shandy. So people really like it. It's a perfect beer to start the beginning of June as it gets hotter. It's like 3.4%, real crushable.
Nice. Easy.
And honeydew is such a subtle flavor. You probably had to use a lot of that to get that to come through, didn't you?
I mean, the beer itself is not like super, powerful. Like the base is really simple. It's just 2 row and some wheat. I don't know how like deep you guys go into like brewing recipe design and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so it's a really simple grain bill, and then obviously the lemonade on top of it. But it comes through nice. It's not it's super in your face, but has a nice like melony kind of character to it.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
We usually don't get too deep, but we'll get as deep as you want. We've got an existential, even that kind of deep in the growth process. So.
Would love to get down there on Saturday, where I'm fortunately going to be in. Depending on how you look at it, unfortunately, going to be in Atlantic City for the.
Unfortunately for our livers.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Was it the AC Beer Fest this weekend?
The AC Beer Fest this weekend. Yeah.
Okay. So, I was just down in AC last weekend.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll be pouring down there on Saturday and Sunday. And then Saturday is the headlining band is Dropkick Murphys.
That's why I'm going.
And and Sunday is Sunday's 311.
311. I saw that.
Yeah. So it should be a good weekend. Should be a good weekend. So, Dave, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking something you gave me, John, and this is one of your, you picked it up at one of your side hustles.
Right.
He works at he does trivia at River Horse. It is one of the
5 times a year. So.
Yeah, it's one of the log events that they're allowed to register. Here it is right there, River Horse Otto. This is a German style Bock beer, or German Bock style lager.
So is it like a Maibach, or is it actually like a more like traditional Bock?
A traditional Bock, yeah.
Yeah, more of a traditional.
Okay.
I'm drinking a Maibach next, actually.
There you go. And I'm kicking it off with an English style pub ale from right there. That band right there.
Yeah.
Barlowman's Best right there from Second Sin. So cheers, gentlemen.
Prost.
Cheers.
Prost. Yeah, Jake, if you want to say anything about Barlowman's Best, if you have had, you know more about it than I have. I had it there and one other can, and then this is the other can I had. So
sure. So we released that beer right around the end of March. It was for we had a Lord of the Rings day. So that beer is obviously, if you look at the label, you can tell that it's
the
Lord of the Rings theme. It's got Gandalf on it. Yeah.
You got the Prancing Pony sign on it too. Oh, there's Gandalf. Yeah, if you bring it down a little bit, John, you can see the Prancing Pony sign right there.
Yeah, right there.
So yeah, for those that don't know, the innkeeper at the Prancing Pony, his name is Barleyman Butterbur, and in the story, after Gandalf finds out that Barleyman helped the hobbits out and let them go off with Aragorn, he was so happy to find out about that they were safe that he put a spell over Barleyman's beer for like the next 7 years that it would be of superlative quality. So the day March 25th in the story is the day that the ring is destroyed. So we played all the movies on the projector in the room, and we released the beer. So we had Lord of the Rings trivia that week.
There's one thing that I heard about that scene in the movie and in the book that made a lot of sense, and it's really heartbreaking if you think about it. Gandalf sends 3 eagles to search.
Oh, at the very end, yeah.
One for Frodo, one for Sam, and one just in case Gollum survived.
Yep.
He sent one for Gollum. It's like that was heartbreaking when I read that, because I hadn't figured that out. That was really cool. So, but someone knows it's Tolkien. Nice. I like that. I appreciate that.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. Wish I'd known that. Would have come down for the day. Would have been great.
The trivia was good. I normally don't play because it's just meant for the customers, right? But like if we do like Simpsons or Seinfeld trivia, which I'm very much into, this one I played, and I got beaten by one question by a guy that was playing solo sitting at the bar.
Oh wow!
And I couldn't remember.
It wasn't me.
I was going to say, was it Dave?
Remember what the RR stood for?
What the what?
RR. So J.R.R. Tolkien.
Ronald Raoul.
Ronald, like rule, or whatever.
Raoul. Yes.
Yeah.
The second R.
That's crazy. All right, cool. Jake, let's ask you. We'll slide in the main question. The first question we ask everybody, really quick.
Sure.
To the best of your recollection, what's the first craft beer you ever had?
First craft beer or the first beer?
First craft beer.
Could be craft.
It could be crafty. It doesn't have to be craft. It could be just not Bud or.
Well, I will say I think I snuck a sip of my dad's Bud when I was like 3.
Sure.
And I thought it was disgusting.
Who didn't? Right? Yeah. Well, I say that all the time. I like friends. When I was a teenager, I went over to a friend's house. He said, "Hey, my older brother bought us beer. What'd you get, Bud? I'm good. Can I have some soda?"
I think it was probably Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. So I actually
heard that one before.
Yeah. I actually didn't really do any drinking when I was in high school. So when I got to college, I went to Penn State, so the wheels kind of came off.
All bets off.
But one of the people that I befriended during like my first semester, he was in a fraternity, so he had the older brothers to go buy him good beer.
Sure.
And so he always had like some Sam Adams in like the fridge in his room. So and he really liked cherry wheat. So I think that was probably the first craft beer that I ever had.
Nice, cool. That's awesome. How did you get started in the brewing game? How'd you get started brewing?
Honestly, like for the most part, I just kind of when I was going to parties, I would just choke down whatever crap they had available. Milwaukee's Best or Natty Light was big at Penn State at the time.
Yep.
And I frankly thought that I just didn't like beer because I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, all right, it's a means to an end. I'll drink it if I have to. But then as my friend got different beers available and I tried them, I was like, oh, these are actually really good. It's just the macro beers that I don't really like. So we my roommates at the time, one of which is now one of my business partners, we started homebrewing maybe like 6 months before we turned 21. I was like, all right, well, I can't buy good beer, so like at least I'll try making it. And then the first batch turned out terrible, as they usually do. Phil, my business partner, he still won't drink a wit beer to this day because that was
really?
the first we made, and it turned out terribly.
I'm not a fan of the style either, but for different reasons.
That's great.
So we, now looking back, I realized that most of that was it was like a kit recipe. It was just not a good recipe. And so ever since then, I've kind of ever since that first batch, I've never brewed anybody else's recipe other than my own.
Sure.
But no, we just between getting into brewing, I quit brewing after making that first batch for a while. But after we turned 21, there's a bar at Penn State that, at least at the time, was in like the top 50 craft beer bars in the world, called Zeno's.
Okay.
Their tap list was, especially at the time, just second to none. So we started going there after class, and that would be, anytime a new beer would come out, they were always on top of it. They even had Cantillon on tap back then,
nice.
which I had no idea what I was drinking. I was like, oh my God, I'm paying $10 for a 10-ounce pour. Unbelievable. But really, I guess that was mostly where it came from, was drinking at Zeno's. And then finally I had, I guess kind of apropos that you're drinking Barleyman's, a local brew pub at Penn State, Otto's. They had a best bidder on tap or on cast.
You mean like Otto?
There you go.
Well,
Very apropos.
It's all coming in full circle here.
It's almost like we planned it.
I had, I just had this best bidder on cask, and I was just enamored with how it tasted. And I was like, all right, I have to try making something like that. And that's what got me back into brewing. And then pretty much it was just downhill from there.
Hey.
As I tend to take, if I do something, I kind of go into it like full steam ahead. So
Sure.
I want to be.
We don't know that
be at it.
do it, John. We don't know the type at all.
No, not at all, right? It's a little sarcasm there, but of course, just a bit. Did you? Was this your first foray? Did you work? Had you worked at any other breweries before opening Second Sin?
Yeah. So September is going to be the 10-year anniversary of when I started brewing professionally.
Okay.
So I actually started working at a brewery up in North Jersey called Climax Brewing.
Okay.
Started there as an apprentice.
I think we've heard of Dave before.
Yeah, we've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most people in Jersey have heard of Dave.
So how long was it until you actually brewed an IPA then?
I mean, what they call IPA, we made it. It's basically almost an English IPA.
Right, of course.
But so I was there for around 9 months. But I mean, I live down here,
Sure.
just north of Philadelphia. So that was,
A commute.
on the Jersey Turnpike and Garden State Parkway every day was,
Oh my God!
yeah, a hell of a commute.
Bit of a pain in the ass, right? Yeah.
Did you have to go across the Burlington Bristol Bridge every day?
No, I would take not the Trenton Makes Bridge. I would go across on like 295 and go through Trenton.
Yeah, that's
And then-
you don't risk your side view mirrors that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, so I worked there for about 9 months, and then I saw there was an opening at Neshaminy Creek, which is like 15 minutes away from my house.
Sure.
So I applied. Yeah. So I applied to that job and got that, and I brewed there for right around 5 years, and then I left there right at the beginning of June in 2019. So then that's when we were in the middle of doing like our build out here and getting things up and running, and then we finally opened in the day before Thanksgiving, 2019 is when we officially opened at Second Sin.
Very nice. So it was
a terrible time to open a business.
Yeah, I mean, you had 4 good months, right? And then
yeah. No, there were the winter. January is terrible.
Right. Well, I was saying that tongue in cheek. 4 good months, right? Those months are the good months, right? You had, but you came through it. That's the important part.
We're still here,
right? So that's good. And look, I've been down there several times, and the beer's. I'm not blowing smoke by any means, Jake. The beer's fantastic. You know, you guys are doing.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I was sitting in there. The day I met you, I was sitting in there for a couple hours by myself. So. Until I moved over to the bar and started BSing with you, but yeah, no, it's fine. And when you were at Neshaminy Creek, then I guess Joe was probably crossed paths. Joe Granat was the one of New Jersey sales reps.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
He worked under Kyle. Yeah, we had Joe and Kyle. We've had Joe and Kyle on the show, so we've had time, but,
I actually went to high school with Kyle.
Did you?
Oh.
Did you?
So him and then my 2 business partners are my 2 best friends from high school.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, all 4 of us went to Pennsbury, right around here.
That's awesome. It's awesome to keep it in the family like that. So when you tell us a little bit.
Did you say Penn's Grave?
Pennsbury is just
Pennsbury. I thought you're playing on Penn's Grove. Okay.
Yeah.
Penn's Grave because we've got what's that town that's we call something Grave that's down by the shore?
Ocean Grave
rather than Ocean Grove,
right?
Because the average
age is 130.
Yeah, something like that. Of the other residents,
right? But in any event, it's actually changing a little bit. We'll talk more about that later. But on that note, so talk a little bit about Second Sin. What have you guys? For anybody that hasn't been there or whatever is listening to this, what do you typically brew? What are you? I mean, I know you're obviously have many styles, but talk a little bit about the beer you're doing.
I mean, I guess the one thing I always, when I'm asked this sort of question, I like to, say we tend to keep a pretty balanced draft lineup. Like, I mean, everybody wants hazy IPAs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We'll usually have 4, maybe 5 on tap, but we have 12 taps. We usually try to have at least 1 tap that's something that's really light, easy drinking. Right now, we actually have kind of like 3 that fit that bill. We have like a Mexican lager called Toretto Especial that is hopped with Matahueca. So kind of give it the lime character without lime.
Very nice.
We have our cream ale on tap right now. And then we also have Tokyo Draft, which is like a Japanese style rice lager.
Very nice.
So all 3 of those on right now, and then, like I said, we have the Shandy coming out. Today I just brewed we don't really do we do repeat beers. Like last year, like I said, we brewed the Shandy, but we don't have any like flagship beers. So today I brewed what is kind of going to be our first, like the closest thing to a flagship that we'll have. It's a coffee oatmeal stout called Coffee Boy. And then we're going to release it quarterly. And then every quarter we're going to switch up the origin of the coffee in it. Mm-hmm. We work with there's like a roaster, a really awesome coffee roaster, maybe about 10 minutes from the brewery called Calm Waters that we work with. I just did a cupping with them today to pick out the coffee that we're going to use. So yeah, we try to always have something dark on tap, have something light. Certainly we have IPAs on tap. We always have at least 1 sour beer on tap because we're decently well known for that. Like one of our sour beers is called it's Cobblerin' Time, which is familiar with the Fantastic Four.
That's a Hulk reference there.
Yeah, the what's called the thing that's made. So the label, the thing's made out of rocks, but on the label we have him. He's made out of a bunch of different kinds of fruit, and the beer's intended to mimic the flavors of a cobbler. So it has like the grain bill is, kind of elicits the crust or whatever, and then it's conditioned on vanilla beans and cinnamon, and then whatever, given fruit. Like the last one we just did a couple months ago was peach, but we've done probably 10 different variations on it.
Nice.
So people really love that beer. But then we always have at least one sour on tap because that's.
And I love the reference, even though I blew the reference from Mother Grimm's Blue-Eyed Baby Boy. I blew the freaking reference.
There you go.
Fantastic Four 4 is my first favorite comic book, as a matter of fact, and I blew the damn reference. Anyway, so that's awesome.
That is really good.
Awesome. It sounds like you got a great varied lineup. We always love to see that at a brewery.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really not a big fan of the IPA houses, which is it's the same.
I mean, hey, if it works for them, hey, more power to you.
It does.
If that's your model and you're killing it with it, and it's sustaining you, I mean, have at it. That's fine. Like we were just at CBC. A few weeks ago we stopped at Bearded Iris, and I said this last week on the show.
Yeah.
And, like we walked in there was a Pilsner on, a Vienna Lager, a pastry stout, one IPA, and 8 double IPAs on tap.
Oh wow, that's all.
But they do it very well.
They do, yeah. I mean, they're like other half South, right? But
Yep.
I couldn't see doing that. There's got to be more to it than just that.
Well, yeah.
And if it works for them, no, that's fine. I mean, that more power to them. But
I don't want to sit there drinking the same grain bill over 6 beers where they've got 4 hops in each one of them, and just one hop gets changed out each time.
That sounds like an interesting flight.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Right. That's about it. But no, I do like more of your business model. Mix it up. Yeah, you brew the IPAs because you got to keep the lights on. It's what sells, right? Like them or love them. They've got to be there because there's right now. That's what's selling.
I like the fact it's so unique that you don't have any real flagships other than what you're brewing now. That's pretty awesome.
We release at least one new beer every week.
Mm-hmm.
This week we have an IPA that we've done a few times before coming out on Thursday, and then Saturday we have Shandy coming out. But usually that's what our customers have come to expect. They know that if they haven't been here in a few weeks, they're going to come in. There's going to be probably at least 3 beers that they haven't tried yet.
Love that. Love that.
And we're at a good size. We have a 5-barrel brew house that we usually can about half of the beer, and just sell the 4-packs right here, and then the other half's draft. It works pretty well for the turnover. We're actually working on opening up a second tap room. I won't say too much about that. We're working on release right now. So we'll be even turning beers over even quicker.
Sure.
When we get that going too.
You do much just distro, Jake?
Not really. We'll send a keg here or there to a few bars in the area, but really, I mean, you guys know, like the margin over the bars where it's at. Of
course.
We do it every now and then, but it's more just a little bit for marketing, not anything substantial.
It's to get get some eyes on the beer and have them and draw them into the tap room. That's it.
Yep.
Right. Gotcha. That's awesome. Do you have any events coming up that you're doing other than Saturday, obviously?
Other than Shanday, a couple weeks from now, in later in June. I don't know for a fact if we're the first ones to do this, but we haven't actually even announced this on like our social media yet. But I figured we might as well talk about it. Okay. We're doing it's an event that we're kind of dubbing Jake Against the Machine. Where I guess you guys are familiar with like ChatGPT or like the AI bots that have been
sure.
So we told ChatGPT to give us the best hazy IPA recipe in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I took the recipe that was given to me by ChatGPT, scaled it to our brew house, and then I developed another recipe that I'm going to brew, and we're going to release them both on the same day. The idea kind of being man versus machine to see who comes out on top.
Are you going to announce which is which, or just decide which?
We'll announce which is which. I mean, to be completely honest, like, I think I'm going to win pretty handily. So I
Well,
think, I think
obviously, you looked at the recipe it gave you, and you brewed it. So obviously, you know,
yeah. Because let's see. Are there concrete flakes in there?
no, it's just it's certainly not just even scaling it directly. It's not hopped as heavily as our IPAs normally are. It's I frankly I think it's going to turn out too bitter for the style. Like I'm brewing it as it tells me to because I like otherwise it's like loses the idea behind it, right? But it just kind of just looking at the recipe, I'm like, there's going to be a couple things that are like certainly different than our normal hazy IPAs that come out. But I always think my one business partner Mike came up with the idea, and I think it's something funny. You know, the current zeitgeist, people are talking about AI and everything. We thought it'd be a fun idea to try it out.
It's funny because there's some companies that are banning their employees from downloading chat.
Yeah, because like gets them to like just do your work for you.
It's all their work for them, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're banning it, but also the information that it can gather from you. Apparently, I don't quite understand how it can get more information than any of the other things that have come out, but I don't know. I haven't read too deeply into it.
Oh, that's wild. What when is that going to be? Do you have a date for that yet, or you haven't firmly put something?
Look at the calendar.
We're not doing anything.
It's going to be the 22nd, so it's a Thursday.
So
yeah, we generally do all of our releases on Thursdays. That one we're going to release both of those beers on June 22nd.
I might be able to get down there. Right, maybe I'll spend the day over visiting some accounts over in the Cherry Hill area, and then pop right over. That's not a bad idea.
I'll be here.
You working from home that day, Samurai?
Working from home. We'll see how quiet it gets. Right now, I'm in so much trouble in my company right now for taking a long weekend.
Yeah, really.
And more on that later.
But, that's cool. I like that idea.
I really need to get a non-real job.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I hate the office jobs. Anyway.
Exactly. Anyway.
That's why I can afford the beer I drink.
This is true. Yeah, exactly. If you weren't doing that, would you have been able to do what you did this weekend?
Or
it's kind of a yin and a yang, right?
Or
April,
or what I'm going to do in August.
August, right? Exactly. So there's a yin and a yang. There's a fine line to that.
You sell your soul to do the things you want to do.
Exactly. So it's all part of it. Anyway, do you? Is there anything? Any other beers later in the year coming up that you want to chat about? That you have? That you already have on the production schedule? That you?
Nothing crazy. I mean, we're definitely going to have at least one barrel aged beer coming out later in the year. We haven't fully planned it yet, but in October we're probably going to have like a stout day where we release probably like 4 different stouts. Our anniversary party is in November, but outside of that, we always have a big Oktoberfest turnout, and even I tend to not like to toot my own horn, but our Oktoberfest is probably one of the better beers that I make. I really think that
is it more?
This is fantastic.
Is it more of a fest beer style or of a Märzen?
No, it's a Märzen. Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice, very nice. That's fantastic. I'll have to get down there for that. That's for sure.
I'm drinking the Maybach now.
There you go.
There you go.
And let me know when you do this. Whenever you, if you ever do circle back to do this again, because this is fantastic. This beer.
Oh, thank you.
Did you save me one, John?
I saved you one.
Because you know damn well if it's a Tolkien themed beer, I want to freaking drink.
I saved you one.
I have a massive Tolkien nerd.
That's mine.
You could have even taken the word Tolkien out of that sentence.
I'm a massive nerd. Yeah, this is true.
and insert a few other things into it instead of Tolkien's.
Yeah,
but
Star Wars being one of them. Yes,
exactly. I don't know what your timing's looking like, Jake. I can keep going, or you? What do you want?
Did you want to do the top 3 thing real quick, and then I'll probably bounce?
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Why don't we jump to the top 3, and then David and I can fill in after?
Because someone's got some beer to can.
Somebody's got some beer to can, exactly. So, All right, we're going to jump to the top three now. Something we've never done. We've never done it halfway through the show. So, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it tonight. So, our top three list. We do a top three list. We say it all the time, Jake. Just so you know, why is it top three? One, we pay homage to 1933, the repeal of prohibition. Right, 33, number three, threes. There we go. Top three. But the main reason is because
please say three again.
Three.
Thank you.
Okay. Just there. But the main reason is because if we did a top 10, it would take way too long because Dave and I really stick to three on a top three list anyway.
Rarely, yeah.
So tonight's top three list was actually a combined effort between the three of us, Jake included. It's going to be top three favorite American created beer styles. Top three favorite American created beer styles. Jake, why don't you take it away and lead us off?
So you want me to kind of say my three?
Yeah, do your three. Do your 3, 2, 1.
So,
if there's any order, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Not really any order. And one of them. So my go-to beer when I was in college, my go-to cheap beer was Jenny Cream Ale. Mm-hmm. Yeah, $13 for a 30-pack. That was great. I love cream ale. It's one of the. I was actually before. We narrowed it down to American created styles. In my head, I was kind of in between Kolsch and cream ale. And then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Cream ale is basically American Kolsch, if you think about it. It's a light hybrid style. I mean, obviously it has the adjunct in it, but they're close enough related. They're crisp, super crushable. My favorite kind of beer in that for that sort of thing. Maybe not necessarily one of my favorite styles, but it's apropos because I'm going to be brewing one later this week at Cal Common.
Okay.
Or steam beer.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, it was hard to source American-grown Northern Brewer. Because that's like so important to the style. Like everything I found was German. I had to like order. I tried to order it all from what's called More Beer, and they didn't. I think they left like 3 pounds off my order. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a great style and just one I thought might make sense to bring up because it's something that maybe not a lot of people are even heard of or familiar with. There's not that many examples of. But yeah, if you see an Anchor Steam and you haven't had it, buy it, drink it. Or I guess that's an event that's coming up. Once we used to do it once every month. Now we've kind of scaled it back. It's going to be quarterly, but we're not normally open on Mondays, but we'll do an event called Metal Monday, where we'll release a beer that. So my two business partners are not into metal, whereas I am. So that's where I'll name beers after a metal band or a song or an album, whatever. We'll release the beer on a Monday. We open up at 5:30. Once the people in the office next door get out.
Right.
Starting at 6 o'clock, crank the music up, and then it's hang out till 9 o'clock, drinking beers and listening to metal, take requests, play, all different kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
So
older metal, newer metal, both.
Anything. Yeah.
Metal.
Yep.
Metal's metal, right? Yeah.
But so the beer that we're putting out for June's Metal Monday is the Cal Common that I'm brewing.
Right.
I think it's a great style that kind of gets overlooked, even if it's not necessarily one of my top three. Right. But to finish it out, one that is definitively in my top three, it would be barrel-aged barley wine. Typically, they're going to be English, even though, but really the barrel aging is like the American side of it.
Sure.
I guess what was it? Goose Island were supposedly the first people to age beer in bourbon barrels.
Mm-hmm.
I even unbarrel aged barley wine I enjoy, but really barrel aged where it's at. We've released one straight barley wine. One was a blend that we kind of called a strong ale. It was blended with a little bit of imperial stout.
Okay.
I've got a couple bourbon barrels filled with a different barley wine recipe out in the warehouse right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be brewing a Munich wine in the near future.
Nice.
It's a style that has just a ton of complexity to it, and I think they're some of the best beers the best versions of that style are some of the best beers that I've ever had. So that's probably there's my top 3.
There you go. That's awesome.
To comment on the barley wine, John, I think I sent you this beer and explained it. When I was in Montreal, Pit Caribou had made a barley wine with some smoked malts. They aged it in an oak barrel for a year and then bottle conditioned it for a year. This, talk about a complex beer. That thing was fantastic. But for my top 3, and I'll play off that barrel-aged barley wine, the Bourbon Barrel-Aged Stout. Bourbon Barrel-Aged Stout. This is such an American, in-your-face. This is going to have so much flavor. This is going to punch you in the nuts with ABV. It's yes. Well, yeah, but you won't mind. You won't feel it because you've been drinking.
That's true. That's true.
10.5 to 13.5 to 18% beer.
Right.
And it's just going to be friggin' delicious and wonderful. So that's one of my favorites. So I'll stay off California Common and even Kentucky Commons because that follows. It's a different beer. It's a different style. But the more localized commons. John, we just recently heard about a third type of common. What was that?
Yeah, David was talking about it last week, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? There was another type of common.
Should think about that, but yeah,
it wasn't a Utah common.
It wasn't a Utah common. There's not a lot of common things.
It was something like, I don't know what it was. But there's this style out there which is, they're just so localized. They're so wonderful. California Common is the more common one. No pun intended. The Steen beer.
It's a more common.
It's common because of Anchor, because Anchor's distribution, made it that. So I said I wasn't going to go there, but I went there.
But you went there. So common is one of them. So I'll just
no. That's an honorable mention because he's already mentioned that one.
All right.
But then we have the whole. So the IPA we know is in a British style, but the Americans take everything, we make it ours. Not only we weren't satisfied with the West Coast IPA, we had to have an NE IPA. Then we came up with a Mid Coast IPA, and now there's an East Coast IPA. There's all these IPAs now that we brew here, and of course, John and I are kind of partial to that East Coast IPA because it was kind of invented by a friend of ours in New Jersey. It really hasn't caught on yet. No. It's really an IPA made with Kolsch yeast.
It's a New England IPA with Kolsch yeast.
Talking about Boat.
Both.
Boat's actually a session IPA. We're talking.
I know that one's brewed with Kolsch yeast. It's all.
Kolsch yeast, yeah. But it's Carton. He uses Kolsch yeast in IPA, so that's what makes it East Coast, right?
And
so.
John, what's my favorite beer on the planet?
Boat. What's your second favorite beer on the planet?
It's not my. Building sandcastles.
There you go.
No, I. Not
getting there. I know. I'm kidding. Go ahead. So, are you frozen, Dave?
But of those West Coast IPA.
So,
am I frozen or are you frozen?
You thought you were frozen for a second. You stopped talking. So, East Coast IPA.
Actually, I did. No. West Coast IPA. As much as partial as we are to the East, it's those West Coast IPAs. They're harder and harder to find on the East Coast anymore.
There are.
Everybody wants to do those NE IPAs because no one wants to drink an IPA. They want to drink an IPA, but they don't like IPAs, so everyone's drinking the NE.
Oh IPA. Yeah, like we brewed our take on Planet the Younger.
Oh God!
And we took some to this this festival we went to. The only people that drank it really were the other brewers that were walking around, and they're like, "Oh shit, I got to try that," and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then everybody, even the people that are, you know what a festival is like. Oh, what's the highest alcohol beer you got? And I'm like, it's like 9.5.
Exactly.
Like, I'll take the Mango Goza.
That's hilarious. I'll
take the Mango Goza and I'll take this airplane bottle of vodka out and just spike it and then I'll drink it that way. That's
When I lived in Rhode Island during COVID, actually, not intentionally. And I lived 4 blocks from a brewery, and their most popular IPA was something called Driving Miss Hazy. It was an IPA. It's in Rhode Island. They're in New England. They made a fantastic West Coast IPA, and I drank the hell out of this thing. They're like, you're one of the few people here that actually really enjoy this beer. You're one of the few people that get this beer. You know, getting that pine, getting that grapefruit, and that citrus,
Sure.
just walloping the hell out of your taste buds until you can't even taste your toothpaste because this thing has destroyed you.
Yeah, I miss a good beer like that. We talk about Weyerbacher Double Simcoe all the time. That was
I miss that beer. God, I miss it. Why did they ever stop brewing that? We need to
because they filled up their production schedule with pumpkin for most of the year.
Oh God damn it. Make it stop.
So anyway,
but I think to round out my three.
Yep.
Okay, this was also like Jake in no particular order, and it's because it has three names. It started off as the Black IPA until everyone realized that Black Imperial Pale Ale just doesn't seem to work. Then they decided to call it a Cascadian IPA, but you don't always put Cascades in it. You can put other hops in it to make it what it is. So now it's just a black ale, right? That's what everyone has settled on. They now call it a black ale.
It's a Black IPA, Cascadian Dark Ale, Black Ale.
It's whatever.
It's all three at the same time.
Whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
if it's done correctly, it is deliciousness. And what's great about the ones that are done correctly is they're going to hurt you as much as a West Coast IPA with the added additional pain of the roast from the malts as well. So you're getting so much bitterness out of these beers when they're done the way I like them, that they are drink. I don't know if I can drink more than 2 or 3 of them before I tap out.
I 2 is my limit. I don't think I've ever had more than 2. Well, it depends on what it is too. If it's like a 7% Black IPA, obviously can have more, but they're normally like
what about Epitome?
Epitome's 10%.
Yeah, so it's like 1 or 2.
Two top.
Yeah, right. So so I love that style. Again, this is another style that is so damn American because it's so. We're going to take everything bigger, bolder, badder.
Exactly.
It's a badass beer. This beer needs a pound of bacon next to it and a handgun. It's that American, right? It's just
exactly.
Not that I don't condone handguns or any weaponry whatsoever. I'm just saying that's what the rest of the world sees as America. And yeah, the black ale, the Black IPA, the Black Hoppy IPA. My God,
that fits the bill for you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you my 3, and basically because of all the styles that the 2 of you just mentioned, I don't have a choice but to double up on pretty much all of them. So, but that's fine. These are my 3. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and say pick a couple others. These are my 3, right? They are what they are. And I'll just round them down. I'll give you number 1, number 3. I'll go 3, 2, 1. 3, cream ale, absolutely. You know, Dave, you know I love a good.
You're a cream ale whore. Yep.
I love a good cream ale. That's number 3. Number 2. Black IPA, definitely in my list, 100%. And steam beer would be my honorable mention, but my number 1 is Jake's number 1. Dave, you know how much I love a good barrel-aged barley wine. And yes, the English style, but the barrel aging obviously makes it American. So, barrel-aged barley wine, and especially some, like, I'll even get a little more specific. Rye barrel-aged barley wines are fantastic.
Oh, my God, yes, they are.
Good.
And I'm proud. Very proud of this show right now because none of us put any IPA on the list. The most iconic American style to the rest of the world. And we're
exactly. And we're nope, that's not on our top 3.
Because it's our favorites.
Yeah, these are our favorites.
Not the rest of the world's favorite.
Now, mind you, if for myself, I'm sure I know Dave is, Jake, I'm sure you would feel the same way. If we open this up to all styles, our top 3 would be probably Pilsner, Kolsch, and steam beers. You know, I'm kidding. You know what I'm saying.
Czech dark lager. You know,
Czech dark lager.
is my number 1.
Dark lagers, Schwartz beers, alt beers, English old ales, brown ales. Those are my favorite beers.
I got news for you.
Lambic
too, absolutely.
For me, I get a little more specific.
Lambic would be in my top 3.
Gotcha.
I get a little more specific. I go Creek.
Right. Okay. There you go. Well, you had some Cantillon up in
oh yes,
Montreal that you did. So.
On tap. Oh, one was on cask.
You had a cask Cantillon.
I had a cask Cantillon.
Very nice. Very nice. Well,
My
kudos to you.
my camera's not great quality, but as you can see,
Oh, wow. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see a few guys tipping back with their beer.
yeah.
Exactly. That was very nice. By the way,
I got news for you. You open up to all styles. Bourbon barrel aged stouts. They might be up there.
bourbon barrel aged barley wines are still going to be up there. If I had to round it to 5, it would definitely be included in that. But yeah, you're more the German and English styles for me. Like I said, Schwartz beers. Obviously, you could say Czech dark lagers too.
Definitely Schwartz beers.
And alt beers. Dave, you know how big an alt beer.
I have problems drinking an alt beer only because of Brian.
Well, that's a mental thing with you.
We got a friend named Brian Alt.
Well, his last name is Altschul.
Altschul.
So, but he
means
drops
old
the
school.
shul. He says it's old school, right? He just drops the shul, and it's alt. So Brian Alt. So alt beer.
Yeah,
It's beer, right?
So
we're gonna brew an alt beer and call it Brian. Is what we're gonna do, right? So
please don't. We'll never hear the end of it.
Exactly. But anyway, and then English styles, good English old ale, brown ale. Those are where I'm headed. So, but I just want to throw this out there. My second beer that I had to report, I started drinking. I went to the other end of PA, and I went to Dancing Gnome. It's their Czech pale lager.
Straight up to me.
Beer's pretty fantastic.
Not a Tomavi, it's straight up Pivo.
Alrighty.
So, all right.
Jake?
All right, Jake, you got to get back to canning.
Yes, I do.
You've got more sweating to do.
You got a little more sweating to do. How big a run you doing?
It's like 20 cases. I got like 7 left, I think.
All right. So
we have a single head Gosling.
Oh, you got the Gosling, the manual feed Gosling. It's counter pressure, right? So it's just.
It's not counter pressure, but it has like underlit gassing and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. So that works. So, all right. Fair enough. That's the one that Andy has, Dave.
Oh yes.
Yeah, same line.
Where we did the Lager Day show off the next to it.
Andy Joy up at Bird's Mouth. He opened up in Fort Monmouth. He's got the same canning.
Okay.
He's got the Gosling. So
John knows full well how to run one of those. Thanks to Andy.
He was to work. He was in the middle just trying to get a bunch of stuff done last minute, and I popped in there for a beer. He wasn't open yet, and he's like, "Do you have an hour to help?" I'm like, "Sure, you got it." So, but cool. All right, Jake, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time out. Definitely, and I'm definitely going to try to get down there for that Thursday night for the Jake versus the Machine.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, just shoot me a message next time you guys are heading over.
I will definitely do so, and I'll bring you some beer too. I think I gave you some when we were there, but I'll bring you a little bit more.
He's got a new one coming out.
Yeah, we got a couple new ones coming out.
It's going to make its debut this weekend.
Yeah, at AC Beer Fest. So cool. Anyway, again, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and I'll hit you up when we're coming down. Hopefully, Samurai can come with me.
Sure thing.
We'll see.
You got it, man.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. All right.
All righty.
All right. It's back to old school. It's back to you and me. And
I opened my third beer.
You opened your third beer. I was patient because I didn't even know you were drinking. What did you? You had your Maibach, right?
The second beer is Amaram. Again, you gave this to me. This is from Crossroads.
Crossroads. What do you think of it?
That's good. That's really good.
It's a tasty Maibach. Yeah.
It is a tasty Maibach. It's got that kind of it's almost got that phenolic dryness at the end of it.
Yeah, dried out a lot at the end.
It dries out up on the roof. It still stays not so dry on the tongue, but the roof, it really dries the roof of your mouth out.
It's a weird sensation too. The roof of your mouth's dry, and you're still, it's not cloying, but you're still tasting the beer on your tongue.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm a Ram, and you know what? I am a Ram. I was born in April, mid-April.
There you go.
So I am a Ram.
You're a Ram. I was born the end of April, so I'm a bull.
You're a bull. Yeah, you're full of bull.
Most days.
You're full of.
I'm full of that guy right there.
That guy, that bull right there.
That's why I get along with Bob so well.
So bullish. But we were talking about bulls. I'm going to a bear.
You're going to a bear.
Let's see what I did there.
I see what you did there. It's pretty good.
Johnny gave you this one.
There you go.
Bear Walker.
Nice from Jackalope.
Jackalope Brewing in Nashville, which they are down in the Gulch. They've got a coffee shop attached to just a door away from them.
Yep.
You don't even have to go into the damn street. But if you go on the street, you make a right, go down there, maybe 100 yards, you'll get to a place called Party Fowl.
Right.
And I dare anybody there to get the Poultrygeist version of the hot chicken. I did it, impressed the hell out of our beer tender. She said she'd never seen anyone put it down as quickly as I did. So I was feeling really proud of myself that night. I'm like, yeah, man, manly, macho. The next day, whimpering like a baby in a doorless stall in a honky-tonk right on Broadway in Nashville. Not so proud anymore.
No.
No, that stuff will destroy you. But it's so freaking delicious. And you know what? They're bang bang fried kidneys.
Really?
Oh God, those are so good.
Interesting.
If you these kidneys. I
didn't even see them. I didn't even see that there.
Oh yeah, I was just popping those kidneys down like nothing.
Nice. I would have had them. I would have tried them.
Oh, they're delicious. And the thing is,
hey. Last time I was in Denver, I had Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout.
And I want to do that.
I'll try some kidneys. All right.
Now, talking about eating weird things. Friday night, I ate one of the more interesting things I've eaten in a very long time.
Before you get there, do we want to say revisit the fact that it's Happy World Sea Lion Day?
But this is it's not the same thing.
It's not, but we're getting back into what this might lead to.
Right.
So there
might lead to. So Friday, Karen and I drove up to Montreal, and we ate at a place called Caribou Gourmand. Caribou Gourmand is a Quebecois restaurant.
Okay.
So they specialize in some of the things that not a lot of people are going to eat. I didn't get it, but they had a yak burger. I should have got that. I got the bison.
I definitely would have gotten a yak burger.
I should have gone with the yak burger. I got the bison rib. I didn't realize it was a stew. I'm not a stew fan. It was still yummy.
I love stew. I do. I am a big stew fan. I might have went with that. I've had bison before. I haven't had bison stew.
It was actually, as much as I don't particularly like stew, I really enjoyed this dish. Carrie got the canard, which is duck in French. But the appetizers was the weird thing, and why Johnny popped that up there. It was seal. It was not just seal.
Seal. Now, the one that used to be married to the supermodel.
Yes, with the scars. And it's funny because I made the same joke to Carrie as we're walking away. It's kiss on the gray. So what is it?
Kiss by a rose on the gray. Yeah,
kiss by the rose on the gray.
Kiss from a rose. Kiss from a rose.
From a rose on the gray. On the gray. No, not that seal. No, and I felt bad doing it.
Crazy was his other hit. Crazy.
Yes, but no, this it was not only was it seal, it was seal carpaccio.
Really?
So it had capers in it. There was vinegar. What else was there? There was something else that was in it. But the texture is really kind of weird. It's almost gummy, spongy.
Okay. I've had carpaccio before, plenty of carpaccio before, but never seal carpaccio.
Yeah, there's seal carpaccio. We're used to beef carpaccio. The last time I was in Montreal, I went to a restaurant called Restaurant Goose, and I had the carpaccio cheval, horse.
Yep.
And it's funny because I ordered it. I got about 3/4 away through it before I balked, because it's like I'm eating Mr. Ed. I it was absolutely delicious. It really was. In the U.S., we got a lot of hangups about what we eat here. There's people watching. Oh my God, he ate seal. That's disgusting. It's not actually disgusting. There are cultures that this is what they subsist on. The Inuit in Canada, a lot of them subsist on seal. They go out, they hunt the seal, and they use every part of the animal. This is not the people are like, oh my God, we're reporting at PETA. No, this is not we're just clubbing the hell out of something to just get its pelt and wear it around and to show that, oh my God, we have money. This is a substance for them.
Right.
Right. This is different than seal hunting for fur.
Right.
Where they're going for those baby seals because the fur is white. They club them so that the blood doesn't stain the fur. It's disgusting. It's a horrible practice because the rest of the carcass just gets thrown away.
Right.
If you're doing it for sustenance. So that's what this was about. And it was tasty. I got to say that the texture is different than anything most Americans will ever eat in their lives. Carrie, to her credit, had one bite and then just went, I can't. It's just because it's a mental thing with a lot of things. When you go to many different countries, they eat things we don't eat.
Of course.
The Japanese will eat anything you can dredge out of the ocean, pretty much. At every part of anything you can dredge out of the ocean, they're going to eat. This is their culture. This is what they do. So this was interesting, but ate a lot of really great stuff up in Montreal. I'll say that we had cod fritters, were one of the best things I ate while I was up there. Of course, we ate a lot of poutine.
Right.
Poutine for those of you down here in New Jersey, we kind of have something similar called disco fries.
Right. But there's no beef on disco fries though. So.
Well, no, it's not. Yeah, there's no beef.
Short ribs. Yeah.
No. See, those are all additions.
Well, I don't eat. When I eat poutine, I don't get poutine without short ribs. So for me,
because you haven't had it up there.
No, I have had it up there. I'm just saying.
But up there, you don't need it because they're gravy. So the brown gravy down here is tepid, flaccid, even. It's just tasteless.
Good word.
There you go. To the brown gravy up there. The brown gravy up there. So the first place we went
was the ground gravy.
The ground gravy.
Okay.
First place we went, first brewery we hit, the first place we ate when we got into Canada was Kanawaki Brewing, which is in Kanawaki, across from the St. Lawrence River from Montreal. Mm-hmm. It's actually on a Mohawk reserve.
Oh, cool.
Or as we would call it here, reservation. They call them reserves. And there's 3 owners. 2 of them are Mohawk.
Fair enough.
Their gravy, it's a brown gravy, but it's done with chicken drippings.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's got a slightly different flavor. It's really interesting. And it's funny because at first I sensed a little bit of cinnamon at it, but I realized there's almost a cinnamon flavor to chicken fat, but very mildly so. It threw off a slight cinnamon flavor. It was interesting. It was very, very good. We had like 3 poutine.
You know what I could see in brown gravy working well. You mentioned the chicken fat and the chicken drippings. I could see, when you mentioned duck before, me and duck fat, right?
Oh God, duck fat,
yeah.
Amazing.
So a little duck fat in the brown gravy that might work well.
It might work well. We didn't have any of those. We did have a very, very standard poutine at a place called Brewski.
Brewski.
Brewski, Brewsky. This was.
I want to pause right there for a second. Hold that thought because you said Brewski. I'm going to change the EW to an O, and change it to Broski. And I would like you to lift the glass with me right now.
Because why?
And that's pretty weird that we're drinking out of the same glass. Okay.
And it's not like I saw you drinking out of that and grabbed it. It was sitting down here the whole time that I was going to drink.
Right. Well, cheers to Leah and everybody over at Mechanical, but that's not what I'm saying.
Cheers to fun size.
Cheers to fun size. Pint size, not fun size.
Pint size.
Fun size.
Fun size a little chocolates.
Yeah. Cheers to Jim, Coastal Brewworks Jim. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Jim.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Happy birthday, excellent. Jim. There you go. That's why I said Broski. There you
go. Broski, but so Brewski, I had a lot of great beers there. Mm-hmm. Of all the Canadian brew beers I had there, I think my favorite was something that was done at Brewski, and it surprised me. I didn't expect that much from Brewski.
Okay.
Because it's down in Vieux-Montréal, which is the old town, right? Montreal. We're down by the waterfront. We're Sucienne Market, I think it's pronounced. Sucienne Marché. Market is Marché.
Marché.
So we went there because we were there. We were hungry. It was lunchtime. They made beer. They made a coconut goza.
Really?
This beer was fantastic.
Interesting.
Absolutely. I could have sat there and drank. I wanted to have a few other different things. I drank pina colada smoothie, which was not the best idea. I should have
Was it an alcoholic smoothie? Was it a
Oh,
beer?
yeah. No.
Okay,
It was a beer. It was a pina
You
colada.
just didn't have a pina colada smoothie.
No, it was a pina colada beer.
7-Eleven or something.
Pina colada beer that they put ice cream in.
Okay.
I really should have ordered another one of these coconut gozes. This thing was.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Actually,
it was absolutely fantastic.
How did the brininess of the goza
worked
play with
beautifully, so that it had that tartness, the brininess, a really strong coconut presence to it, but they all work so well together. And the beer, there was no. A lot of times when someone works with coconut, they don't do it right, and they'll get coconut oil out of it. You'll get an oiliness to the mouthfeel to the beer.
Right.
This was still as crisp as it goes. It can be so light, but man, all the flavors were there. This was a very well done beer. I was so impressed by this beer. I could have drank so many of these.
Probably.
It was great, but we had a lot of different places to go. We went a lot of places, and as you mentioned earlier, we had Cantillon on tap.
Right.
If you get to Montreal, I'm like kind of bastardizing it. In French, it's Montreal. English, we call it Montreal.
Montreal.
Royal Mountain.
Yeah.
Founded by Jacques Cartier. His name's all.
Okay.
Like, no, that's Spanish. Okay. Why is Cartier so important? Like, we kind of founded the city. He sailed up the St. Lawrence, founded the city. So yeah, they kind of put his name on pretty much everything here. Him, René Levesque, and Leonard Cohen, because Leonard Cohen's from Montreal.
Sure.
But you go to Montreal, you want to drink some good beer, some great beer. Get to Pit Caribou. Pit Caribou.
Kid Parabou, you were going to say it.
I was going to say, I stopped myself. Pit Caribou. Their brewer.
This tonight's podcast is brought to you by dyslexia.
Yes. No, spoonerisms.
Oh, there you go.
Spoonerisms.
There you go.
He dealt him a blushing crow. Oh, speaking of crows, see this? I bought this one.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's actually they call it raven, but it's a crow.
That's pretty cool.
So at any rate, where was Pit Caribou? So Pit Caribou, they actually brew out in Gaspéen. Gaspéen is kind of out by south of Halifax. It's still a French region out in the Maritimes. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the food they serve there is Gaspéen seafood. Again, if you put some weird stuff in your face, there's some weird stuff they have there. We weren't eating there, so we didn't do that. But the brewer went over to Belgium to learn how to brew. So he's got a great relationship with the Belgian brewers.
Very nice.
Hence, he had 2 Cantillons. One on tap, one on cask.
Very nice.
He had the 100% Beal Lambic on tap.
Nice.
I forget what was actually on cask, but that's what I drank. And my God, this stuff is. And I told you about the barley wine I had there. They've done that. A slightly smoked barley wine, aged. There's really a lot of great breweries there. Brasserie Melon is one of the new up and comers. Mm-hmm. I was telling John before the show, I met a couple of 3 absolutely insane Austrians there. They were a lot of fun. We wound up at Vice Versa, which is a fantastic beer bar. Kerry even mentioned it almost had a feel of a Spite and Dival to it.
There you go. Fair enough.
Where they had a fantastic beer list, but the difference was they serve food. There they are. Okay, on your left there, that would be Marcus. And that's me. Then there's Renee. And then next to Renee is Renee's son. You can see they got the same exact smile, same exact eyes. They look so much alike. That is Tobias right there.
There you go.
Tobias at this point is so damn drunk. There's a couple of times his head was just sitting on the table. But then he decided we needed to drink some more. So I ordered us shots of gin. John, you've been so proud of us.
Wow, very nice.
Yes, and it was local gin. It's Saint Laurent gin.
I generally don't do shots of gin, but I would have definitely squeezed a lime into it before I shot it.
Oh no! I made the boy do this straight up.
Unless it was barrel aged. Barrel aged gin.
No. This wasn't. This was straight up, and he was feeling his oats per se.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you're American. We drink with American. More drink. Shots. Shots. Okay, bring me gin, because Montreal makes some pretty good gin from what they tell you.
From what I've heard that too. I haven't had any.
I should have got you a bottle of Southern gin. I really should. I was in the DFS shop. They had it there, but it was like back and forth. Like, I'm not sure I like John that much. I don't know why limit is to get through customs either. Right. I had some things to get. So we did the Saint Laurent gin. He tossed it back. His face was in distress for a little bit. It's understandable. Marcus, he sipped his. But I think he was driving next day. They went to Quebec City the next day. They're actually back in Montreal again.
Back in Montreal, you were saying.
Yeah, they're bouncing back and forth. They'll be in Ottawa tomorrow and Toronto. So if you're in Ottawa and Toronto,
find these guys.
No. Message me. I'll tell you where they are, and you avoid. No. No. These guys were a blast and a half. We had so much fun with them. But it started off with, I was talking about Brasserie Melon. They're up and comers. Go see them. Before there, we went to a place called Ile de Garde.
Okay.
Ile de Garde, they make their own beer. The
Mm-hmm.
beer's pretty damn good. They've got a lot of guest taps on as well. The food. This is where we had the cod fritters.
Okay.
Fiddleheads. Fiddlehead is the top of a fern. It's really kind of tender. It's got like a softer asparagus flavor to it. But it's almost got the consistency of a wound up zucchini noodle. And they put it in this dressing with some mesclun greens that was fantastic. And they did these asparagus spears, and they grilled them. I have never tasted asparagus that good.
Wow. No, very nice.
So good. And then there was like these shrimp rolls they did, and the paper for the shrimp roll was very thinly sliced daikon radish, and it had balsamic vinegar on it as well.
Nice.
And this would have possibly been one of the best things I ever ate up there if it wasn't for the other three dishes. It was just that place. If you want to eat and drink very, very well, go to Ile de Garde.
Well, you're definitely making me hungry. I'll tell you that much.
There's so much good food up there. There's so much good liquid up there. There's bad liquid up there,
as is everywhere. But
I won't talk about that. We don't do that. We don't do that. No. We were just walking past this one place. Like, let's stop in. It wasn't high on my list, and it was like, and we went in. Like, this is why it wasn't very high on my list. There.
Gotcha. Did you get over to? I know you didn't get up to the other location. I know the location
Laval.
Right for Duduchiel was close to Montreal, but did you get over to the
little beer garden
they were having? The beer garden.
Yeah. So Mille End is one of the neighborhoods in Montreal. A lot of the best stuff in Montreal is in Mille End. Sebois Brewing is there. Reservoir Brewing is there. Drogerie Affine is there. Drogerie Affine, they do one thing, and they do one thing extremely well. They do gnocchi in this kind of tangy, spicy marinara sauce. And you can get it either normal or spicy, and with or without cheese. That's all they do, and they will have a line down the damn block. That's the stuff right there. My God. As Carrie's son put it, looks like baked beans, but they're not baked beans. That is gnocchi. It is so damn good. And just a couple buildings away from it is Walensky's. Walensky's is a Polish lunch counter.
So, not just to clarify for everybody, it's not Smith and Walensky's.
It's Walensky.
It's Walensky. Right.
Which probably has existed before Smith and Walensky was ever invented.
Right.
You're not going to get great seafood here. What you're going to get is you're going to get a great fried bologna and salami sandwich.
You're killing me with this. You're killing me.
You need to get there, Jack. You were invited. You were invited.
I know we couldn't. We had stuff we had to do, and I had 5 miles to run. And
oh my God, Walensky's it's a must hit while you're. We still didn't hit Schwartz's. which is known for their smoked beef. The line is always so damn long, but we did get Fire Tour. A lot of the places we hit there because of Bourdain. God rest his soul. Bourdain did the world right. He didn't just go to the places where everyone likes to go. He went to the places where the poor people ate. He ate with the people in the neighborhood. He went and saw everything good and bad about a place. And he ate in all of these places, but he ate the good in all these places. Right. Walensky was one of those, and that's why, how we learned that. But he also went to St. Viator. It's a bagel shop. Anybody who has watched Bourdain knows first of all, he's a Jersey boy. He went to high school in Jersey, but a very proud New Yorker because he worked in New York. He was very part of the New York scene. So they decided to bring him to a bagel shop in Montreal, of all places. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, we see how you did. He told us what they do is they boil it in honey water.
Okay.
And they put it in ovens that are wood-fired.
Interesting.
And they take them out with these huge, they'll put in like 20, like it's 24 at a time or something. And they have got it looks like very skinny pizza peels. But they'll take them all out, put them all in at the same time, take them all out at the same time.
Interesting.
This one long yard. And if you watch the episode where Tony's there, he tells him, I'm from the bagel capital of the world. And you're going to give me a bagel in Montreal. Takes one bite of the thing. You can see the conflict on his face. It's like, damn it. They're different. It's by no means a New York, New Jersey bagel.
Right.
But they are damn good. I will tell you that. So even Carrie said, she goes, okay. They're neither worse nor better. Right. There's New York bagels and Montreal bagels, and everything else sucks.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's a great way to put it.
Fair enough.
They're really good. So as my little thing up there says, merci beaucoup, Montreal, c'était trop bien. It was very good. Thank you, Montreal. It was very good.
Thank you, Montreal. It was very good.
Yeah, we had such. This is my third time up there. I'd go back again. John, you need to get up there.
Yeah, I got to get up.
But after Dujshales finishes.
Yeah, I'll make sure that Dujshales open before I get up there.
Well, yeah, because the tap room right now is shut down. But thanks to John, he had gone onto their Facebook page. And found out that there was a festival going on, and right across the street they had a pop-up. It was only in cans. They didn't have a lot of options. But still, what they had was good because it's the shell. Holy God, Holy Lord is what it translates to. So, it was worth it. I think we worked out we hit 21 different breweries while we're on this trip.
21 breweries in 4 days. Very, very good.
Is that right? Was it 21? And maybe a little high. It might be a little lower.
You might be a little high. Is that what you're saying?
No. Only medicinal there.
There you go.
We did do a count. It was still impressive for 4 days. I don't think we hit 21. We hit
601. I mean,
yeah,
well, I mean, it's not too far off because when we did that Midwest trip a few years ago, did 50 breweries in 10 days.
Yeah.
So 20 breweries in 4 days is about the same pace as my 50 breweries in 10 days. So
let me see. We did this. The 3.
It's 5 a day.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He's counting.
I'm trying to do math in the show, and it's illegal.
I was told there would be no math.
It's no math. I'll count it. I'll send you. I think the final count may have actually been 16 or 17. Not
601. It's close.
It wasn't 20. But so this beer that you gave me, Beer Walker from Jackalope. I'll have to say one thing. When I was in Nashville, I was not exceptionally impressed by Jackalope. Mm-hmm. It may have been what they had on tap and what I had ordered while I was there.
Fair enough.
This is an ale brewed with maple syrup. John's favorite adjunct is maple.
And one of my favorite styles is?
Brown ale.
So there you go.
They don't say it's a brown ale, but I assumed it before I even opened it. It has to be brown ale because there's not a lot else you're going to put a maple in and call it an ale.
Right.
unless it's brown ale.
Right.
I gotta say, I like this. So many breweries will overcook that maple. It'll throw a really bad bitterness, almost like exhaust. It can get really bad if you overcook the maple. They didn't do that here. There's some good craft in here. This may be the best beer I've had by Jackalope.
There you go. Fair enough. It was definitely high on the list. I had a couple of small batch things at the brewery while I was there, and they were pretty good too. But I wouldn't say they were better than that beer, but as good at least.
Special.
But yeah, that was definitely up there. So, cool. All right.
And speaking of Kanawaki, I've got some beer for you.
Awesome.
Their ESB, and I wasn't going to order it. And Kerry ordered it. And I took a sip of it, finished the beer I had, and looked at the beer and went, have one of those. Because I've got one for you.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
So you'll have that. I talked to Drew there. Hopefully we can get him on the show.
That'd be nice.
We'll see how that goes. Because they've got a really interesting story as to how things work there.
Love to hear it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That works for me.
That's really cool.
Awesome. So what's on your schedule for this weekend, Dave?
So this weekend, well, Friday I'll be going into the city because I was bitching about my job earlier, but I've been there for over 25 years. So Friday they'll be taking us out to lunch.
Very nice.
Yes, at the Mandarin Oriental in Manhattan.
That's always a nice time.
Yeah, where the big ass window just overlooks Central Park.
It's not, now keep in mind, it's not a big ass window. It's a big ass window.
Yeah. Big hyphen ass. Big ass.
Big ass.
It's one word modifying the noun.
Gotcha.
Not one word, not one adjective, not modifying two nouns.
It's not a big window that you look through and
there's a big ass.
Right.
So that'll be fun. That's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday we'll get up early. We're going to turn the Mazda south. It's been so in one weekend the Mazda was going to be gone from Montreal to Atlantic City.
There you go.
Getting some miles on this thing. We're going to go down to Atlantic City. We're going down there for a Dropkick Murphy concert.
Yeah, that's what it is. Dropkick Murphy, because that's the only reason you're going.
There might be some beer involved. I might be taking some of you along for the ride. This should be a lot of fun. You will see me. You will see him, that guy. Mm-hmm. And you'll see some of the people that John hangs with. We're going to try to get as many people who have been on the show to chat while we're there. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned in the last show, it will be interesting is the first couple of go lives. Okay, those will be fun. Mm-hmm. And we'll get fun. But the deeper into the festival we go, the more
it's going to get more interesting, much more interesting.
Just remember, the more drink you do, the more interesting I get.
Exactly. And the more drink he does, the more interesting he gets. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, probably.
Now, the more interesting I get, I don't know.
Maybe
somebody will get more interesting.
The more I drink, the more interesting you get, or interested. No,
interested you get. There you go.
Possibly.
That's
it could get. This could be turned into a quite silly night.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll find Brolero early in the festival, because if I find him late in the festival.
Well, if you're gonna, let's put it this way, Brolero, you're specifically speaking about Adrian.
Adrian, yes.
Okay, well, Adrian, the map came out, and Adrian, if you're looking at me, look about 5 feet to my right or to my right, and Adrian will be standing there. So
okay, so we'll have to hit that early.
Right. So
that'll be a lot of fun.
Exactly.
And we'll find John, not that John.
John Henderson.
John Henderson, the guy who organizes.
He's everywhere, so he'll be easy to get a hold of. So or not.
Or not.
Depending on where you are when he is everywhere. So
he has promised me punishment for this only being my first time going.
Absolutely. I've only missed one. He's never gone to any.
No, this was my first. It took the Dropkick Murphys.
There you go.
to make me take that ride all the way down there just to deal with a bunch of drunks.
Just to deal with it. So I'm looking forward to the whole weekend. I'm looking forward to Saturday. I'm looking forward to the Dropkick Murphys. I'm looking
And
forward to
311.
Sunday. I'm looking forward to 311 on Sunday. But I'm also looking forward to Saturday night to seeing what shape this man is going to be in after the beer fest.
Well, the thing is, I was telling Carrie, Montreal was training.
There you go.
Because we hit at least 4 drinking places daily, hitting them pretty hard. And the thing is, we didn't really hit a lot of high ABVs because the highest ABV that you can brew in Montreal is 12%.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're on the reservation, then you get up to 14.
There you go. Very nice.
Which is interesting. So if we do get Drew on the show in Kanawaki, we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. But it's going to be fun. So pay attention to this weekend because there'll be a lot of Facebook Lives on Saturday. There probably won't be any on Sunday. Maybe. I might do something. I'm not sure.
That's up to Johnny. I will be recovering back up north.
Right. But in any event.
And the show after that, we still might both be recovering.
Yeah, it's going to be next Tuesday, and it'll be interesting. But it'll be a fun show regardless, we promise.
Who's on?
That's something I was going to ask you.
Who do we have on?
It was supposed to be a gentleman from Brooklyn.
I don't know any gentleman from Brooklyn.
Bartender.
No, we've talked about this. It's probably not going to happen. We'll talk to some.
We'll recirculate. We'll let you know what's going on. So.
Yes.
Anyway.
Well, he works on Tuesdays.
Oh, he works on Tuesdays, so we can go live from the bar. That actually would be pretty cool if he did that.
That would be very dangerous. That'd be very dangerous to my productivity on Wednesday.
No, I don't mean you go live from the bar. He just goes live from the bar.
Oh, well, we've done something like that before. We did it with Darren down at
Nobo.
Yeah, where he was working the whole time.
Exactly.
Interesting. I'll see if I can pitch that to him. Otherwise, we'll see what we can do.
We'll work on it. So.
Either that, or we just may have a post-mortem of the Outback beer.
That's a possibility too. So we can bring Matt on for laughs, and we'll see where it goes. So.
And see if John will come on again, just
to give a wrap up.
Yeah,
why not? So.
I think post-mortem's more appropriate.
Wrap up post-mortem. Potato. You know.
Actually, there's a place in Montreal called Patati Patata.
Patati Patata.
It's a fry joint.
Interesting. That makes sense.
I'll tell you one thing. They do frites, French fries. They don't call them French fries. They call them frites. Fries.
Frites, I know. Palm frites.
Just frites. You can skip the palm, drop the palm, and they drop it like a hot potato. They do them differently, and they do them well. The difference, what I like about poutine over disco fries, is within 48.3 seconds of the plate of disco fries hitting your table, every fry is soggy as hell.
There you go.
Their fries don't get soggy in the poutine, in the gravy.
Oh, really?
I don't know what they do. It doesn't get soggy.
Interesting.
And man, they throw a lot of cheese curds on top.
Yeah, but that's all part and parcel of what it is, right?
Yeah.
I know we're going to sign off in a couple minutes, but I'm actually cracking my third beer because I just want it.
John wants it.
I just want a beer. So I'll pour it, and then I'll show you what it is. It's actually a. There we go. Very good. Good, John. There we go. It's from Southern Grist, Hoppy Crisp.
Hoppy Crisp.
Hoppy Crisp.
Can't see the top.
Yes, Southern Grist. It's a dry hopped Pilsner style lager.
Dry hop Pilsner style lager.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost an IPL, but not
Yeah.
quite because it's dry hopped.
Not quite an IPL because it's dry hopped, right? Exactly.
Right. It's not hopped in the brew kettle,
No.
so it's not an IPL.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys do good beer.
They do. They were very good. So I'm going to take a sip of this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. That's
stuff.
really, really good. It's IPL-ish. It's IPA-ish. All right.
Okay.
It's nice and crisp. It's dry. There's some really nice lager notes happening here. I wouldn't quite call it a Pilsner. It's light enough to be a Pilsner, but it's definitely got some nice malt to it. So I'm going to back it into the lager category than just a Pilsner. Not even a light lager. It's pretty beefy, but it's still got those Pilsner-esque qualities. But the dry hopping, I'm not sure what hops are in it. Let me see.
I was going to ask you what hop profile you
There you go. It's one of your favorites and another one from the same country. So I'll let you guess.
One of my favorites. Okay, so we got Nelson Sauvin. And what else comes from Australia?
I'll give you a hint.
Vic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big Secret, Nelson Sauvin. There you go.
That's the two best known from Australia.
Cheers.
Prost.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
I should really check on my Austrian friends and see if they're still alive. The first day they were in Montreal, they went to a place called Three Brasser down in Old City.
Okay. Old City in Philly or Old City in Montreal?
Montreal.
Their first day in Montreal, they went down to Philly.
Yeah, they went down to Philly. They had a beer there called Le Comte. Le Comte. Le Comte is a Tolkien-inspired beer.
Should have gotten them together with Jake.
Yeah, right. It was one beer to bring them all, one beer to bind them, one beer to bring them all, and in the brewery find them.
Nice.
It was up on there. The person who did the chalk, whoever did the chalk work, it was amazing. It looked like Tolkien's drawings.
Nice.
And that was all up there in French, and I was able to translate it mostly from my limited knowledge of French, but more so my knowledge of the ringing inscription.
Right. Fair enough.
But it was actually a really, really good beer, and surprisingly, it was a New Zealand IPA. Why would it be a New Zealand IPA? Because they filmed Lord of the Rings in New Zealand.
Right. Of course.
So it was well done. But they did another beer, Mafioza. Mafioza. Yeah, Mafioza. Mafioza. It was almost a winter warmer. It was an amber lager that had some cinnamon and allspice flavors to it. Which, finding something like that in May is kind of interesting.
And it was a fresh beer. It wasn't left over.
Yeah,
from,
no. This was their two beers. Their two special beers of the day, whatever month, were Le Comte and Mafioza.
Wow.
Or Mafiozo.
Was it a deeper amber lager, or was it a lighter amber lager?
Yeah, I can show you. It was deep color. I took a picture of it. I should show, even though I forgot to check it in on tap.
Oh, I'm about 100 check-ins behind. I really need to catch up.
So this is it right there.
Oh, it's pretty deep. Yeah, I can see that.
That's got a nice caramel color to it. It was quite yummy. I was really surprised when she said that had a little bit of, or beer tender said it had a little bit of cinnamon flavor to it. She wasn't wrong, but it wasn't that winter warmer of we're overpowering you and you've basically got clothes overpowering everything.
Right.
It was still light in body. It was light in flavor. It was light in adjuncts.
Sure.
And it just really worked. And I was really surprised at Three Brasseurs. And Brewski, you've got two breweries that are right in tourist town Montreal. Okay, these are roads shut down that people are walking down. There's souvenir shops all over the place. There's restaurants all over the place where people are lining up to get into them. Mm-hmm. This is really tourist central, and both places we had very enjoyable beers, and I was really, because when you get to tourist places like that,
it's usually not the case, right? Of course
you find a brewery and they're just putting out whatever they can pump out because they know people are going to buy it.
Right. Speaking of the winter warmers, I could tell you, I almost brought it up before when you were talking to Jake when he was back when he was on. What one of my favorite to date. I mean, there's been so many. I'm a big winter warmer guy.
Yeah.
Certainly not in May. Usually not in May.
No.
But I'm a big winter warmer guy. But one of my favorite
Old
winter warmers. Well, Old Fezziwig's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Nice Schoof is probably definitely top two.
But are you going more towards the Samuel Smith winter warmer, which is that light-bodied, flavor?
No.
Oh, that's where you're going.
Something that I only had once, and I got it because of you.
Oh, I can't even remember that. I don't remember the shit I do. What was that one?
Cabin Fever.
Well, see, that's not a winter warmer.
It's a winter warmer.
It is, but that's
maple.
No. It is maple syrup that disguises itself as a beer. That was,
which might be a reason that I like it so much.
My God, that was straight. I'm pouring. Why is this maple syrup getting me drunk? Is that? Oh God, why are you making me miss them so much?
I think we're going to have to get up to Rhode Island soon.
I mentioned them earlier. Okay, we're talking about Smug Brewing. Smug Brewing is during COVID, when I lived in Rhode Island, I lived 4 blocks from them. Mm-hmm. The human being, while my business was shut down for a couple of months, the human being I saw more than anybody else on the planet was this one guy who I always refer to as the Alaskan Adonis, because he was originally from Alaska, who worked for them, Adrian.
Oh, Adrian. Oh, Rob owns Smug.
Rob owns it. No, Rob wasn't there. He had a 4-month-old baby. He wasn't getting anywhere near anybody. He wasn't risking it. I did see Rob prior to the shutdown, and then after, towards my end of my residence in Rhode Island. But I would see him because he'd be out skateboarding, I'd be out biking. As a matter of fact, Smug Brewing did a video of
you skateboarding.
No, him skateboarding
and you drinking
one of their cranberry beer they had made, skateboarding, drinking it to Fleetwood Mac Dreams.
I remember the video.
Yeah, right. Because everyone knows that video that the guy put up of him. Was he skateboarding? What was he doing?
He's skateboarding,
drinking cranberry, just cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice, yeah.
Ocean Spray cranberry juice, and it became a sensation. So they redid it right down the street in front of the brewery. Mm-hmm. But I saw he was the human being I saw more than anybody during the first 2 months of the lockdown.
There you go.
So he was a lifeline.
Yeah, we need to get up there. We need to see Rob. And Adrian, if he's still there, assuming.
I don't know if Adrian's still there. I know that the beer tender that I.
We need to see them. We need to see Nicole.
Need to get up. Oh, Nicole's 8 minutes from there.
Right, and we need to go see Efren.
We need to go see Efren in his new space because I've not seen his new digs. And
he's been on the show twice.
Those of you who have watched the show know that John and I adore Efren. He is of like mind with us when it comes to sense of humor, because his sense of humor is out there. I really enjoy his sense of humor.
That's great.
I enjoy his whole take on life. Actually,
that's great.
We need to see Efren.
Mm-hmm. I believe his daughter just graduated high school too. I remember I saw that on Facebook.
Yep. So there's 3 places we definitely need to get. There's 2 other places we need to go as well over there. Mm-hmm. Long Live and Tilted.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Tilted Barn is just you haven't been there since they rebuilt?
I haven't been to the new place. I went to the old place. I haven't been to the new place.
The new place is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So maybe next year brings us there.
Might be something to plan on.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely got to get there. I wanted to get there this year, but between Utah, Montreal, and Ireland, I don't have a.
Could be a long weekend in October.
It could be. It could be. Some damn good beers come out in October, don't they?
They do.
Because you've got Oktoberfest still out there, but you've also got the winter beers coming in.
Winter beers coming in. That might be a good time to go.
might not be a bad time to go. Efren will definitely have some interesting stuff on, and Rob always has interesting stuff on.
Sure, of course.
He does. And Nicole's in. She's got that cycle going there. What does she do in October? The queen of adjunct.
Right.
She absolutely is the queen. No one in Rhode Island does adjuncting better than she does.
Well, and that Neapolitan brown ale, you got to get more of that. So
such a good beer.
Yep.
Such a good beer.
So anyway.
All right. Well,
that's the plan.
I know I've made you hungry.
I'm starving. I'm going to go eat. So on that note, we will wrap the show.
What is dinner?
Chicken.
Nope.
Chicken, salad, veggies, usual. Nice solid dinner.
You need a poutine in your life.
I know. I
A
got
real poutine.
Well, it was a barbecue weekend, right? So I ate a lot of shit all weekend. So.
Oh, we ate a lot of shit all weekend.
Yeah, we need to lighten it up tonight. So that's what we're doing. So.
Yeah.
And I smell it cooking. So on that note, we will wrap the show up for today. Want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lageroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room.
Aimez-vous la Lager Room?
There you go.
Actually, it would be the Salle de Lager.
There you go.
De Lager. Salle de Lager.
There it is. Anyway, remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight, we had some technical difficulties, and we were waiting for the guests.
What do you mean we?
We are one people. We are one unit. Okay,
it's that computer sitting in front of you that is
the computer in front of me. It was the service that we used to do this podcast, and it was my email server, our email server, getting the link over to you and to Jake. So it was a triple header, triple banger, triple pain in the ass is what it was. So. But in any event,
it was not a triple IPA or triple dry hop.
Not triple. Yeah, there was no triple. There were no beer.
Or a Belgian triple.
There was no beer involved until we actually got on the air.
Because we do like our Belgian triples.
We do like our Belgian triples. This is true. So, in any event, I would like to, at this point, one more time, say happy birthday to Jim.
I'm out of beer. What do you do? You always like to cheer when I got a little bit.
You got us a little bit in there. Cheers.
He deserves more than me.
Absolutely. Well, I got a little extra for you, so there you
go. Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Happy birthday.
Cheers, Jim. Happy birthday, Jim. But to continue the outro, for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. And if you want to just listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. If you're going down to AC Beer Fest, make sure you stop by the Coastal Brew Works booth and say hi and tell me that I sent you. And if Dave's there,
and if
tell Dave that
if you find me, tell me, hey, I watched the Lager Room guys. You do, we'll go live.
There you go.
I will promise you that.
There you go. So that's your chore.
There you go.
If you hear it, you watch the Lager Room guys, Dave will go live with you.
You've got your homework.
You got your homework to do. So
find me. I might be wearing a Japanese themed shirt. It'll be dark. It'll be like brown and gold. That's it. I also might be wearing a cowboy hat with it.
Find him, and if you can't find him, and if you're unsure what he looks like, come by the booth. I'll tell you what he looks like and where he is. So there you go.
Well, if you only listen to the audio, it'll be hard. It'll be hard to find me.
It'll be hard to find him. So just come by the booth and I'll tell you what he looks like. So anyway,
or you just ask a whole lot of people, where the fuck's the samurai? Most of them go, who?
What the hell are you talking about? Right. Now some of them will know. Actually, most of them will.
A lot of them
will know. So, but in any event, do that seriously, and he will go live with you. So anyway, like I said again, enjoy your rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. If you're going down to AC, really enjoy your weekend. Stop by and say hi. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you next week. Yes, be safe. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you celebrated. Hope you got a lot of celebration and relaxation in. But hopefully you remembered why it was Memorial Day weekend as well, too. So,
yes, absolutely.
But we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.